All right, let's talk about that invisible, super fast system that decides every single ad you see online. It's a really complex world, but it affects all of us every day. So we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how this whole thing works. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You look at something one time, maybe a pair of sneakers, and then for the next week, it's like that exact ad is stalking you across the internet. How in the world does that happen? Is somebody watching you? Well, kind of, but it's not a person. So no, it's not magic. It's just really, really advanced technology. What's happening is a huge, completely automated auction, and it all goes down in the time it takes for you to load a single web page. This system is called programmatic advertising, and it's basically the invisible engine that powers a huge chunk of the internet. To really get how this all works, we first need to meet the key players, the ones making all the moves in this crazy high-speed market. You know, the best way to think about this whole thing is to picture the stock market. Seriously, but instead of buying and selling shares in a company, this marketplace is all about trading opportunities to show you an ad. And just like any big market, you've got representatives working for the buyers and for the sellers. But in the ad world, these aren't people in suits yelling on a trading floor. They're incredibly powerful software platforms. Okay, so on the buyer side, we have what's called a demand-side platform, or a DSP. This is the advertiser's home base. It's the tool they use to run their ad campaigns and to bid on all the available ad space out there on the internet. They represent the demand for your eyeballs. And then on the seller's side, you've got the supply-side platform, or SSP. This is the platform that websites, blogs, and apps, the publishers, use to sell their ad space. This is how they make the money that lets them create all the free content we love to read and watch. They represent the supply. So you've got these two platforms with completely opposite goals, right? The DSP's mission is to find the perfect person for the cheapest possible price. Meanwhile, the SSP wants to get the absolute highest price for its publisher's ad space. They meet in the middle, in a sort of digital Switzerland called the ad exchange, to make a deal. So we've met the players, but how do they actually pull off this auction in a fraction of a second? Let's walk through it step by step. To make this a little more real, let's invent a person. We'll call her Jill. Let's say Jill is just browsing her favorite food blog. The moment she clicks on a link to a new page, this whole invisible auction for her attention kicks off. The second Jill's browser even starts to load that page, the blog's SSP basically yells out, "Hey, I've got a live one here. Ad spot is open." It quickly packages up some anonymous data, like the topic of the site, Jill's general location, and starts the auction. Instantly, that opportunity is blasted out to tons of DSPs. Their algorithms analyze it in a flash. Is Jill the right person for my ad? If it's a yes, they fire back a bid. The highest bid wins, and that winning ad gets sent all the way back to load on the page right as Jill sees it. And here's the part that just blows my mind. That entire round trip, the auction, the bidding, the decision, sending the ad back, the whole thing happens in about 100 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. The ad is chosen for you before the web page itself is even done loading. It's just wild. But it's not just about being fast. There's some serious strategy and logic that goes into deciding which ad actually gets to win that spot on the page. So you have to wonder, with potentially thousands of advertisers all wanting that same ad spot, how does a winner get picked? It's not actually just about who's willing to pay the most money. It's about who is the perfect fit for that exact moment. See, a DSP won't even bother placing a bid unless the opportunity is a perfect match for the rules the advertiser has set up. Let's look at a really clear example. Imagine a user who loves racing cars is visiting a website, and there are two different ad campaigns out there also trying to reach racing fans. Let's break this down. Our user is a racing fan, and they're in Brisbane. Campaign A is targeting racing fans in Brisbane, and it has the right ad size ready. Check, check. It's a perfect match, so it places a bid. Now look at Campaign B. It's targeting racing fans, sure, but it's looking for people in Adelaide. Strike one. Plus, the ad spot needs a 300 by 250 creative, and this campaign only has a big banner ad. Strike two. So because of those two mismatches, wrong city, wrong ad size, Campaign B never even got to play. The DSP just automatically said nope, not a match, and disqualified it before the auction even really started. But let's say the person running Campaign B is paying attention. They realize they're missing out, so they upload the correct 300 by 250 ad into their system. And let's also say they expand their location targeting to include Brisbane. Okay, now it gets interesting. The next time our racing fan from Brisbane visits that site, both Campaign A and Campaign B are a perfect match. Both of their DSPs will submit a bid. And at this point, now that all the other criteria are met, it becomes a real old-fashioned auction. The winner is simply the campaign that's willing to bid the most. Highest price takes all. So after going through the who, the how, and the why, what's the big picture here? Why does any of this invisible tech actually matter to you? The next time you see an ad load on a page, just remember this: it was picked for you in a lightning-fast automated auction. Dozens of different platforms all worked together in the blink of an eye to put it there. The winner wasn't just the highest bidder. It had to be a perfect match of targeting, ad format, and price. And maybe the most important thing to remember is that this invisible system, it's the economic engine that funds a massive amount of the free articles, videos, and tools that we all use every single day. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? This technology makes our ads more relevant, and it supports the creators we love. But as it gets smarter and uses more and more data, it really forces us to ask, where is the line? What's the right balance between a useful, personalized ad experience and our fundamental right to privacy? That's the conversation we all need to be having.